Texas shootout. BYU battled with the undefeated Red Cougars. See how they gave fans one of the most exciting offensive performances since the days of the WAC.
Battle for the West. BYU and Boise State will fight it out tonight for dominance of the Rocky Mountain Corridor. What to watch for in tonight's showdown.
And basketball's back. And with no seniors on the squad, the leadership role will fall on some younger players. Meet the captains of the team you'll be rooting for all season. I'm Jake Edmond.
And I'm Mary Blanchard. Bring on the Broncos. It's time for the Tube.
Such an intense game last week against Houston. I'm still trying to catch my breath.
Oh, I had major anxiety. I think I got some gray hairs from that game. It was so intense. Even reading the recap makes me a little bit nervous.
Yeah.
But I'm going to do just that. So we all ended up being right in picking BYU over Houston, and we were right to think that BYU was going to put on a show, but we were oh so wrong about Houston. They came to play and made the game incredibly exciting. The scoring started early and often. There were 7 scores in the first quarter. Here's the last one. Beautiful catch by Ross Oppo. The native Texan came to play, and the score after the first quarter was 24-21. That's more points than many final scores around the country, but we're not done. Houston scores 10 unanswered to take the lead. Good guys down to score, but Jay Swagdaddy's got the answer, and we're all tied up, for a couple minutes at least. John O'Corn improvising, and Daniel Spencer does the rest, making people look silly, and Houston's back on top. Halftime. Everybody take a breath. We good? Okay, this safety right here, the only 2 points scored in the third quarter. Blocking, guys, come on. At this point, the Blue Crew really starting to worry, but Cody Hoffman's like, guys, chill, I got this. Amazing catch by Hoffman. We've got another lead change. But guess what? We're still not done. UHTD with 5 minutes left, clock winding down, my nails completely bitten off, 1 minute left. And here we have Skylar Ridley. It's his turn to play the hero with this dime from Taters. Then finally we have a clutch pick here by Alani Fua. It seals the deal. Everybody exhale. Now we're done. Blue Cougars steal a win in Houston, 47-46. Let's go to Skylar to break down the offense a little further.
A compilation of turnovers, big plays, and a lot of points made that the most exciting game in recent history. But let's take a closer look at the Cougar offense that did eventually prevail. First, let's take a peek inside the struggles on offense. I'm looking at you, O-line. Here's a sack from the second quarter. Taysom Hill has less than 3 seconds from the time he catches the ball to when he gets hit. In slow motion, you see a delayed blitz, pitting 5 pass rushers against 6 offensive linemen. The 7th offensive player is running back Algie Brown. He releases, so Hill has a check down option, but even he can't get out in time. Here's an example of the offensive line being eaten alive from the third quarter. Again, Hill has just 3 seconds to get rid of the ball. When I was a kid, we always counted to at least 5 Mississippi. Houston doesn't play by those rules. Now that's the only 2 points from the third quarter. Let's take a look at how things go when Hill has some time. On his first throwing touchdown, the blocking allows Hill to drift to his right if he needs to. As he works across the field, wide receiver Ross Oppo is doing the same. Oppo gets separation and has a few inches on the defensive back, giving Hill a big target. He delivers that ball without ever even getting his feet set. One last play as we look at the evolution of Hill. This may be the best throw he's made all season. It's strictly a timing route. Skylar Ridley goes to the front pylon, and when he turns, expects the ball to be at his back shoulder. With virtually no room for error, Hill delivers this ball, capping a 42-second, 48-yard game-winning drive. With 545 yards of total offense, Hill won the Capital One Impact Player of the Week award over Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston. He is also the Independent Offensive Player of the Week. But Hill's not the only one winning awards. The Cougars' big hitter Daniel Sorensen also made some noise, winning Independent Special Teams Player of the Week. Jake?
Thanks, Skylar. And speaking of awards, let's talk some Kyle Van Noy. BYU's all-everything linebacker has played his way onto so many award watch lists that he now has his own website. BYU Athletics launched kvn3.com yesterday, a webpage dedicated to spreading awareness of Kyle Van Noy's stellar play. The site provides weekly stats and highlights of the standout senior and will hopefully help get him a little bit more hardware before he leaves for the NFL. KVN is in the mix for several individual honors at the season's end and is a quarterfinalist for the Lot Impact Trophy.
Taysom will have some much-needed help in the backfield tonight as trainers cleared running back Jamal Williams to play against Boise State. Head coach Bronco Mendenhall said Williams fully recovered from a hip pointer and will be at full speed. Mendenhall also said safety Craig Bills will play after passing concussion protocol, but offensive lineman Terrence Aletto is still recovering from neck stingers.
It's game day, and the Broncos are in town for their fourth meeting against the Cougars and the first at LaVell Edwards Stadium since 2003. In Boise State's last trip to Provo, they embarrassed the Cougars 50-12. Here's a closer look at this year's team from Boise. The name of the game for Boise State this season has been its running attack. The Broncos are in the top 25 in rushing, and a big part of that is sophomore running back Jay Ajayi. Ajayi leads the nation in rushing touchdowns with 12 and averages almost 6 yards per carry. Look for the Cougars to stack the box with 7 or 8 defenders, forcing BSU to pass the ball. The reason they are without starting senior quarterback Joe Southwick, who went out with an injury last week against Nevada. So that means quarterback Grant Hendrick will make his first collegiate start against the stingy BYU defense. Good luck with that one. On the defensive side now, watch out for DeMarcus Lawrence at the DN spot. Lawrence is among the top defensive linemen in the country with 6.5 sacks on the season. If you thought sacks were an issue last week for BYU, you might want to brace yourself for today.
The Broncos have won 21 straight games against teams from the state of Utah. CoogTube reporter Dave Neely dove into the history BYU has with Boise State and what the future has in store for this budding rivalry.
For the win. It is no good.
Here goes Hill Rowe, and he's in a lot of trouble, firing to the back of the end zone, and it is knocked away.
BYU is 0-3 all-time against the Smurf Turfers from Idaho. When the series began, Boise State was a relatively unknown program. But 1 decade and 117 wins later, the Broncos are anything but.
They have a good program. They've earned every win they've gotten, and they've just done a really nice job with their program.
And now with the Utah rivalry on hold, a series like this one with Boise State on the football field becomes even more important for the Cougars.
Well, trying to garner that national attention, I think it's awesome that they're going to have this, these series going forward.
With the new rivalry being established, one important question is, what do the fans think about it? Let's head into BYU's campus to find the answer. What do you think of the BYU versus Boise State rivalry?
I don't think it's really going to catch. I can see it becoming a rivalry.
Regardless of how you want to define it, the importance of tonight's game is certain.
This is one of those games that's going to springboard you into the Wisconsin-Notre Dame games to kind of finish up the season.
From BYU's campus, Dave Neely, CoogTube.
BYU and Boise State are scheduled to play each other every season until 2022. And if those games are anything like last year's, this is going to be a fun series.
I'm actually pretty excited about this rivalry.
It's always fun to watch.
Yeah, it'll be a good one. When CoogTube returns, you're the inspiration. Some members of the men's basketball team show their enthusiasm for the coming season with a lip dub you won't forget.
And Hampton goes ham. For basketball, multi-sport athlete Jennifer Hampton sets volleyball aside for one season to focus on basketball. What that means for the BYU women's basketball team. Don't touch that dial.
Cougar fans, it's time. The BYU basketball team is back in action for another season, and both the newcomers and the veterans made a big splash during this year's Cougar tip-off. Fans sprinkled the Marriott Center to watch their Cougars for the first time this season, and it was newcomer Eric Mika who made himself known early on. He'd finished the scrimmage with a cool 19 points and 13 rebounds. But let's not forget about the veterans. Tyler Haws, another year under his belt, improving his already stellar jump shot. You'll see it right here. He is automatic with that mid-range J. And then there was Matt Carlino. Matty Ice took over the game in the second half, draining 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, finishing with a game-high 31 points. Here was Tyler Haws after the game.
It's a fun group of guys, and I feel like the new guys have come in and done a really good job of figuring out the system, and they had a really good off-season, and they're ready to go.
And if you were worried about how big Russia Kyle Collinsworth did fresh off the mission, he finished with 4 points and 10 rebounds.
The BYU men's basketball team is probably sick of playing each other and ready to just dominate some opponents. CoogTube reporter Zach Brady tells us who's leading the way for this young squad.
These guys plan on winning a conference championship and making a deep run in the NCAA tournament. But with such a young team, there's definitely going to be some wrinkles to iron out. And Coach Rose will lean on his captains to help lead the way. Coach Rose's squad has a bunch of new faces this year. Even the old guys are still kind of new. With 3 true freshmen expected to contribute right away, the team will depend on its young captains, juniors Tyler Hawes and Matt Carlino, along with sophomore Kyle Collinsworth, to lead the way.
So I think our core group of leaders has a lot of experience. And I think we'll rely on those guys to really help these young guys.
Dave Rose has manned the sidelines at BYU since 2005, and this season he's coaching one of the youngest teams he's ever had. There are no seniors on this year's roster, something the captains say will be a unique challenge.
I think now with me being here longer than a lot of the other guys, they can come ask me questions like how stuff goes with the team. And
all 3 captains have different leadership styles, but each is excited for their opportunity to lead. If they can help unite the team, the Cougars have a chance to be special.
Everyone's underclassmen, and so I think that's to our advantage. This team, everyone's viewed on the same level, and everyone's hungry to.
Coaches love the team's attitude, and with the captains leading the way, the Cougs can return to the big dance come March. Coach Rose has never had a team without any seniors since he's been at BYU, so it should be exciting to watch this young team develop. Jake?
Preseason polls for the West Coast Conference are officially in, and BYU is expected to finish second. Not bad considering the team. The number 1 team is Gonzaga, currently ranked 14th in the nation, but it's all eyes on team leader Tyler Hawes, the only Cougar to make the preseason all-conference team. He returns to the league with bragging rights for averaging the most points per game last season.
Okay, I seriously love this so much. If you haven't been planning on going to the basketball games, maybe this will change your mind.
And I want you here with me.
That's Tyler Hawes, Skylar Halford, and Luke Worthington, lip-syncing their hearts out to You're the Inspiration by Chicago. The video was uploaded to the team's YouTube channel and is a promo for BYU's exhibition game against Colorado College tomorrow at 7 p.m.
And basketball is ready to tip off, and the men's basketball team gave fans something to really cheer about to start the season. Boom Shakalaka was the perfect name for last weekend's Dunk Fest, 3-point shootout, and skills challenge. Freshman Frank Bartley and sophomore Kyle Collinsworth wowed the crowd. But it was this walk-off, or I guess ride-off jam by Eric Mika that took the W.
The men didn't take all the glory this week. The Lady Ballers strutted their stuff in front of fans in their blue and white scrimmage, where 4 players scored in the double digits. Senior Jen Hampson led all players with a double-double of 14 points and 10 rebounds. Contributing to the point total, senior guard Kim Beeston tied Hampson with 14 points. She also had 2 steals. Sophomore guard Lexi Eaton is back after tearing her ACL last season and added 11 points of her own. Junior guard Jojan Harry finished with 13.
And the scrimmage was the first time we've seen Jen Hampson on the basketball court since she chose to redshirt in volleyball this year. CoogTube reporter Alan Miller talked with the senior center to get the story behind her decision.
Jennifer Hampson doesn't just dominate the court, but at 6'7" tall, she towers over both teammates and opponents. Hampson never played competitive sports before 9th grade, but after a growth spurt, she says she decided it was time for a change.
I was doing gymnastics before with my best friend, and I just got way too tall. So my mom encouraged me to try different sports.
Hampson played volleyball and basketball all of high school and came to BYU as a multi-sport athlete. But with the skipping by more than a month, BYU women's basketball coach Jeff Judkins suggested that Hampson focus on one sport at a time.
I started thinking about it last year when she missed 9 games, and we missed her those games.
This time last year, Hampson was already deep into volleyball season, but this year, she's 100% focused on basketball.
Hampson has already made an impact with her presence, and according to Judkins, the need was greater than expected.
I'm glad she chose basketball this year because we've lost some inside players because of injuries, so we really need her.
Judkins added the move is helping Hampson learn fundamentals and mesh with her teammates. Hampson says the choice has helped her in a lot of ways.
Better team chemistry, just a lot of things are better for me right now in basketball.
In Provo, Alan Miller, CoogTube.
Hampson says she still stays in touch with her friends on the volleyball team, attending their games as often as she can. Volleyballer Alexa Gray was even at Tuesday's scrimmage to show her support in return.
When CoogTube returns, winning streak. The 19th ranked Lady Cougars are spiking their way to victory, even playing on national TV to protect their undefeated conference record.
And swinging away, the softball's regular season may not start for a while, but BYU is getting a head start. Preseason games are preparing the team for the real deal come February. We'll be right back.
The number 19 women's volleyball team continues its complete domination of the court. The Lady Spikers swept Gonzaga on Saturday and then took their show to Pacific last night. Roll those highlights. Junior outside hitter Tamber Haddock commanded the offense with 11 kills and 23 digs. Yes, 23. Her 11th double-double of the season. The Lady Cougs tamed the Tigers 3-1 and extended their season-high win streak to a lucky 13 games. Next up at St. Mary's tomorrow afternoon. The Lady Kickers lit up the scoreboard and stifled the competition with 2 shutout victories this week. The number 24 Cougs beat WCC foes LMU and Gonzaga by a combined score of 3-0. The wins improved their record to 10-4 overall and 4-1 in conference play. That's good for third place, right behind leaders Portland and Santa Clara.
Time to move from the pitch to the diamond. Women's softball dropped the ball against Snow College on Saturday, but they retaliated an hour later against SUU. Senior pitcher Tori Allman silenced the Thunderbird bats, pitching a commanding one-hitter. The offense came alive behind senior infielder Kate Manuma, who went 1 for 2 with 3 RBIs, and BYU silenced SUU 8-0. And even though summer is long gone, the Cougar softballers are still hard at work out on the diamond. CoogTube reporter Kyle Ireland tells us why they're playing so late in the year. Kyle, I didn't think softball season started until spring. What's going on?
Yeah, even though opening day doesn't come until February, the team has already been, wrapping up a fall preseason, and, they hope to have that completed before the cold takes them and sidelines them for the winter.
The boys of summer are wrapping up the World Series right now. But at Miller Park, the Lady Cougars are cracking bats and putting their finishing touches on their annual fall preseason.
I think we're off to a good start. We did have one game where we didn't play to our potential, but the fall, is to get used to the new team, get people playing in different positions. So with all of that change going on, I feel like we've done really well.
The Cougars are 5-1 this preseason and close out fall ball with a doubleheader tomorrow. Even though the preseason doesn't count, the team still uses it as valuable experience.
Like how our coaches coach, we learn how other players play their game.
The Lady Cougars will change venues when the cold weather rolls in, from the usual dirt and grass of Miller Field to the indoor practice facility. The team says it's a difficult transition to artificial turf, but the off-season reps are invaluable and vital to continual improvement.
We don't regress, we retool and we keep going, and our expectations are to continue to be at the top, to continue to make it to the NCAA tournament, and to progress beyond that to the College World Series.
With a 3-month break ahead of them, practice is the key to big things happening starting in February, when the team will once again dust off their cleats and hit the field.
Even though the team has seen a lot of changes since last year, they expect to have a big season next year after an entire offseason to mesh together. Live in the newsroom, Kyle Ireland, CoogTube.
So Kyle, you said the Cougars are in action tomorrow?
Yeah, you can catch the final 2 preseason games against Dixie State tomorrow starting at 11 a.m.
All right, great. Last chance before the snow flies. Thanks, Kyle.
Speaking of snow flying, Eliza, please tell us that there won't be any of that tonight at the game.
I have some good news for you this weekend. There's a lot to look forward to. We have not 1 but 2 big games. So I'll let you know when your 11 game time weather returns, and as well as these week's top plays when we return. Well, it is a gorgeous day outside. Here's a shot of the BYU Marriott Center. It's empty right now, but it's soon be full on Saturday's game. I did check for tents. No tents yet. It's the beginning of the game, or the beginning of the season. Currently, right now, it's about 52 degrees. It's going to be heating up. Our humidity will continue to drop, and our wind speeds are calm. We're expecting a lot of sunshine today. Clear skies. It's going to be nice. With our BYU football game today in against Boise State, we can have good weather to look forward to. It will be cool, so you want to be wearing a jacket. Our temperatures will be about 45 degrees. Definitely light jacket weather, low humidity. calm wind speeds. It's going to be a beautiful day for our game. As for Saturday, Saturday's supposed to be even warmer than today, which means we're going to be reaching almost the 70s, which is crazy warm for this time of year. But in the Marriott Center, it'll definitely be heating up. So as you're waiting in line outside, be sure to bring a jacket because it'll be about 45 degrees again. Our humidity will be low, calm wind speeds. So both today and tomorrow, we're going to have beautiful days to enjoy our games. It'll be nice. Unfortunately, though, in our 5-day forecast, there will be something else than sun. We will have sun both on Saturday and we'll continue Sunday, but Monday we're seeing that rain and temperatures are going to drop. And with that low, it's going to bring in some potential snow, I'm sorry to say, but I mean, I guess it's about time that that cold weather starts to move in. So enjoy this warm weekend while we have it.
All right, thanks, Eliza. New segment now on the Tube today. Top 5 plays of the week. Let's go. Number 5 is the end of a wild one deep in the heart of Texas. Alani Fua undercuts the route with less than a minute left. That is poetry in motion, folks. Fua's interception ices the game against UH, and Cougar Nation breathes a sigh of relief.
We got more from the thriller last Saturday. This time, it's Taysom Hill delivering a gorgeous deep ball to Cody Hoffman in the fourth quarter. Hoffman's catch here gives him the record for most touchdown receptions in school history, and he punks the DB to do so. Yeah, you can get out of my way. That's my ball.
Number 3, it's dunk contest time. Incoming freshman Frank Bartley, the fourth, taking flight over 6'10 center Eric Mika. Let's watch that again. Check out the hang time. That's a long way up, folks. Mika won the contest, but Bartley stole the show. Can we get the 4 on the back of that man's jersey? Number 2 now. We head out to Cali with women's volleyball. Match point against Pacific, and Catherine LeCheminant sends the Tigers packing. Monster block to end the game gives the 19th ranked Cougars a big win on the road and their 13th straight overall. That makes a baker's dozen, Bob.
Number 1, this was so clutch. BYU down 5 to Houston, 68 seconds to play, and Taysom Hill finds Skylar Ridley. An unbelievable back shoulder throw from Hill. You seriously can't put the ball in a better spot. Ridley makes the adjustment, and the Cougars take the lead for good. I'll never get tired of watching that. What a game. Go right into predicts. Welcome to the Rectangle, everyone. Looks like I'm back in the game, tying Jake at 5-3. Thanks, Florida State. Reporters at 4-4, and Eliza leading with 6-2. Let's dive into our picks for the week. Jake?
All right, so this week I got BYU beating Boise State. I think Boise State has a good team, but they don't have a backup quarterback today. Not going to win it. And then I have Oregon, not even close. They're going to destroy UCLA, guys.
All right, Kyle.
Yeah, I also am going to pick BYU. I think that BYU's defense is really going to show up big tonight and stop a backup quarterback from Boise State. As far as the Oregon and UCLA game, I don't think that UCLA's defense is going to be able to keep up with the fast-paced Oregon offense.
Okay, Eliza.
Well, I think people are sleeping on Hendricks. I think he's going to be able to do a better job than we think, but I say bring on more Taysom Hill. This BYU game, I think they're going to dominate. And then for Oregon, I'm picking Oregon because they have yet to throw an interception, which is amazing, and so I think they're going to smash them.
As for me, I'm taking BYU. I think our offense has found its groove, and I think we'll be able to get the win tonight. And for Oregon, I think there's only one team in the NCAA that can beat Oregon, and it's not UCLA.
So I know we all have BYU winning this game against Boise State, but I think Boise comes in with a pretty good team. They have obviously a great running back. And then, again, that defensive end that I mentioned in my preview of Boise State, he's going to cause some fits in the backfield for BYU. So BYU allowed 8 sacks against Houston last week. I wouldn't be surprised if it's somewhere around 8 again this week, guys.
Yeah, it should be a good game. Well, that's CoogTube for Friday, October 25th.
If you want another look at the stories we did today or to share with your friends, check out the CoogTube section of our website, 11news.byu.edu.
Thanks for watching. Have a great afternoon, and go Cougs.